This is the Iowa Racing Report, the TV place to race in Iowa. And here's the starting line of this week's excitement. And this is your racing station back on track with the Iowa Racing Report. Thanks for joining us this week. It is week 3 of the program, and it should be a good one. So let's get to some of the exciting stuff. Now, later on in the show, we'll have some super speedway plans that might make Iowa even more of a place to race. But we like to load the beginning of the show with highlights, so let's get on track with Rod Botholt and the Speedway Spotlight.
4 weeks ago, the State Fair Speedway season opener was washed out. And there's been nothing but washout since then, until this past Friday night. A beautiful night for racing and double features. And we start with the 360 sprints and Mike Hausman leading the way in the Y5. Followed by Roger Short in the 3S and the 5J of Larry Ball Jr. Then the 5J makes an early run at the 2 spot, but can't quite get it done. On comes lap traffic, but Hausman keeps on mowing them down and leading the race. But late in the race, the lead begins to shrink as Roger Short narrows the gap. But a couple laps later, it's Larry Ball Jr. blowing by Short and into the 2 spot. Then off a late restart, the 5J makes a run at number 1, but can't get it done. Mike Hausman holds him off and hangs on, taking the Y5 to victory lane.
Tonight was good. Went out right out for the first feature, and it was right on the button, and I was smooth, and it felt good.
Up next, the stock cars, and it is a major league traffic jam early as they go 4 wide out of turn 4. Great racing in the middle of the pack, but up front, Steve Jackson is all alone and pulling away. Mark Elliott is looking strong in second until the 12 car starts smoking and gets smoked by Brian Nevins and David Cirksena. Late in the race now, and the 43D of Maynard Davis is on the move, getting around Cirksena and into third. To the last lap now, and Jackson's big lead is gone. The 2J pulls up, and Nevins and Davis blow by. And from there, Nevins beats Davis to the checkers, winning a wild stock car feature and giving himself quite a birthday present.
I've been racing over 40 years, and I've never, ever won on my birthday before, so this was kind of neat. This is neat.
Bring on the modifieds, and that's Danny Wallace setting the pace early in the 41. Mark Allgood second in the 22. But there's big trouble in turn 1 for the 11 car as he goes head-on into the wall, and the wall wins this battle. Off the restart, Wallace pulls away again. But check out the 15 of Troy Folkerts moving up to third as he gets around the 36. Meanwhile, Wallace just keeps on cruising. Final lap now, Folkerts and Allgood fighting for second. There's contact in turn 4, and Folkerts gets the best of the bump as Troy Folkerts takes second, but the checkers go to Danny Wallace in the 41, the winner of the modified feature. And finally, the hobby stocks, and in feature number 1, Dan Hanselman takes the 98 from the pole into the lead. In the back of the pack, they're racing and rubbing, and the parts are dropping, and that brings out the yellow. Off the restart, Hanselman pulls away again as the 98 is making it look easy. Hanselman slices through lap traffic and dominates the field as the 98 car grabs checkers in hobby stock feature number 1. And in the nightcap, the 50 car leads it early, but Tim Alexander is closing in the 14A, and so is the 93 of Mike Stark. And check it out midway through as they go 3 wide for the lead. Stark slides into second in the 93, and then later takes over the top spot and is leading the pack. The 93 through lap traffic and pulling away until he blows up, and back come the 50 and the 14A. And the 14A shows the way as Jim Alexander takes advantage of Stark's misfortune and wins the final makeup feature of the night. But the feature fun is only half done at the State Fair Speedway. We'll have highlights from a wild Part 2 on double feature night on next week's show. At the State Fair Speedway in Des Moines, I'm Rod Botholt for the Iowa Racing Report. Stay with us. There's more racing to come as we catch up with the Outlaws when the Iowa Racing Report continues.
And welcome back to the Iowa Racing Report. Well, this week in Knoxville, 2 worlds collided as the World of Outlaws were in the sprint car capital of the world. So for some worlds of fun, let's race back on down to Knoxville and Part 2 of the Speedway Spotlight. It was the Outlaws in the great outdoors as a lot of fans came out for some outstanding action. Let's take a look at the Friday night feature.
Go, we're green! Everybody dicing through turns 1 and 2. They're all going to make it through. Down the back straightaway, Lasowski leads them into turn 3. Working off turn 4, Tyler Walker tries to close in. Works the middle line of the speedway. Lap number 1 goes to Lasowski. Tyler Walker still running in that second spot. Johnny Herrera really starting to close. Looks to the bottom side. They'll even up. Now Walker with the advantage through 2. Swindell also reeling them in. Stevie Smith running in that 5th spot. Mark Kinzer 6, 7. Oh, and Swindell spins out in 4. Look out, Steve Kinzer slides by. The yellow flag's out. Oh, we got Gobrecht upside down. Tim Schaefer. And Craig Delansky also spinning, red flag situation. Kevin Gobrecht. Here we go. Everybody makes it through. Look at them go 3 wide down the back chute. Mark Kinzer, Tyler Walker, Stevie Smith shoots around the high side. Still battling. Steve Kinzer with the front wheels up off the ground down the front straightaway. Johnny Herrera knocking on the door of Danny Lasowski. Down the back chute, races for the lead. A clear road ahead of Lasowski as he races off 4. White flags out. Time's running out. Stevie Smith charging in the 3rd. Johnny Herrera still working that cushion with a last lap effort down the back chute now. Running out of time. Lasowski still on the bottom side. Here comes Herrera. Take a look. Checkered flags away for your winner, Danny Lasowski.
Well, it really felt good. You know, it doesn't seem like we can come to Knoxville and win a race by a long distance. You know, the Knoxville National, you run 30 laps with Sammy Swindell. We come here and Johnny Herrera's right there with us. But the B Packers car is really strong, and we're just trying to stay consistent and give these guys something to shoot for in November for the point championship.
And the hot action continues on Saturday, including a side-by-side ride in the 360 class with the 1 of David Hesmer and the 86 of John Carney. And in the end, Hesmer wins. And in the World of Outlaws feature, Sammy Swindell takes the 1 by the 83 of Danny Lasowski, and it's Swindell winning the feature. A complete report on the Saturday night action next week, but for now, let's shift gears to the IRR scoreboard. Let's put the fans in the spotlight with Fan Cam. He is a man on the go. As a driver, car owner, and racing supporter, Larry Clement is one of the biggest names in the sport in Iowa. And tonight, Larry talks about more big plans, including a proposed super speedway in the Quad Cities and also the Advanced Auto Parts ARCA team's plans to race some Winston Cup events. He's a hard guy to catch up with, but tonight we have Larry Clement and his plans in Quad Cities off track. What are some of the benefits of this project that you see for the state?
Well, it's going to bring a tremendous amount of tourists from outside the state. It's going to bring a whole another level of recognition to the state of Iowa. You say Iowa to people that live in other areas of the country, and they think that we're all riding around on farm tractors, and there's certainly nothing wrong. I mean, I grew up on a farm, so farmers are very important to us, but there's a lot of other things going on in this state also. And so it'll bring a whole new perspective to the state of Iowa. I think the governor and the legislatures have got a big push on now to try to make some things happen in the state to keep our younger people here that grow up here and go to school here and then move out of the state because maybe there's other things to do in other states. So there's just a tremendous amount of things that this will do for the state of Iowa.
Obviously, you know, being involved in racing, what great race fans there are in this state, and there are a lot of great areas to race in this state, but this could be sort of a crown jewel for the state, couldn't it?
Oh, yeah, it'll be the crown jewel for the state, no question about it. And within 300 miles of the site, there are 33.8 million people that live, and then they'll drive that far to see a race. So we think that with Bruton Smith, Speedway Motorsports being the majority partner, they've actually planned the track, they'll run the track, they'll get the race dates. So I don't think there's any question that the track will be successful.
Tell us a little bit about the types of racing you hope to attract, the types of dates you hope to see at this track.
Well, I think right off the bat, you'll see some ARCA races, you'll see some NASCAR Remax races, probably a truck race, probably a Busch race. There's other series that can race there. It's going to be, as it's planned right now, a 3/4 mile high-banked track, a bank similar to Bristol, Tennessee, only it's going to be a tri-oval, seat 70,000 people. So it's going to be an exciting racetrack. There's no question about that.
Speaking of racing, you said you were going to do it. Now you've done it. You're the defending champions in the ARCA Series, a dominating 1998. Tell us what's ahead for Frank Kimmel, Larry Clement, and the rest of the guys in 99.
Well, we're going to be better this year than we were last year, without a doubt. I know that doesn't mean we'll win more races. It doesn't mean we'll win a championship. We think we will. We won 9 races last year, 16 top 3s out of 22. We should have run 4 or 5 more races. And so this year, we're going to try to win all of them that we got a chance to win. And so we did that a lot for our race team, a lot for the state of Iowa, because when we started ARCA racing, a lot of people didn't think that anybody from Iowa could come down there and do that. And of course, we had Bob Hill in the car, and if we'd had Bob in the car this year, we'd have won a championship with Bob. He and Frank are identical the way they drive a race car. We've just got our program to a whole nother level now than what it was when Bob was driving. And Bob's doing very well with Sabco Racing down in Charlotte, of course, and very well up in their organization. Still a great driver. Drove a couple ARCA races last year. Ran up front just like he always did. So we're looking for some big things in 99, and we're going to try to run 5 Winston Cup races. See how it fits in our schedule. We know from Frank Kimmel driving Jimmy Spencer's car last year that he can drive with those guys, and we know if we can get the car right, we'll make the show and we'll run. We'll run respectively. And we don't think we're going to go out there and dominate that series. Nobody's going to, other than probably Jeff Gordon. But we think we can do it, and it's time to step up and give it a try.
Racing Association's State Fair Speedway Salute. And tonight's driver in the spotlight is stock car competitor Brian Nevins. Driving the 94 machine, Brian is one of the top racers at the State Fair Speedway. For more information on the Des Moines Auto Racing Association, check out the website. And here's a Des Moines Auto Racing Association reminder. Coming up September 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the State Fair Speedway in Des Moines, it's the Driver's Dream Race, hosted by the Des Moines Auto Racing Association. This is the Iowa Racing Report Driver of the Week, and tonight, let's meet hobby stock racer Randy Embry.
Well, for 99, we're planning on running Marshalltown, Boone, and Stewart. My boy's just starting this year, so we're going to take him to Boone. So Saturday nights at Boone Speedway, we'll have 3 generations on the track at one time. Father, son, and grandson. I think it'll be fun. See lots of different experiences out there together, and maybe some night we can do a 1, 2, 3 finish. I got started the same way my boy is. My dad's been racing for 30-some years. I just watched him a lot, and now I'm doing the same thing with my boy. A lot of fun. Being out on the track with the competition of everybody. Good close racing, and just having a lot of fun doing it. I've considered moving up a few times. The cost factor is quite a bit greater in the stock car class. Lots of good competition there, as there is here in the hobby stock, but cost is a lot of the factor. Last year we raced three nights a week, ended up with 15 feature wins. Finished third in the IMCA national points, just had a good all-around year. My advice to guys beginning the sport, just pay close attention to the guys that are doing well and listen close, and just be willing to do what they tell you and try it.
This is the Knoxville Raceway Driver of the Week, brought to you by the Knoxville Raceway. And tonight's Racing Conversation is with several drivers about getting back on track. What's it mean to a driver to be at an opening night event? Is it a little more jittery, a little more exciting?
I think more than anything, you're anxious and ready to get going. Had a couple weeks off here, and it feels like forever. So I'm just anxious to get going again.
I've raced here quite a bit, and it's just it's just like coming home. But we've been lucky enough to race with the Outlaws and the All-Stars up until now. So I've got a lot of laps under my belt, and Skip's been racing in Australia and got a few races here under his belt too. So that gives us an advantage over most of the local guys. I think if they could get out and race a few more shows before Knoxville started, that the points would be even tougher than they already are. But right now, I think the advantage on that end goes to Skip and I, just because of our experience, and we've been out there and we've been racing. But I think this looks like one of the best years Knoxville ever had as far as competition. And as a driver, it's just the track's always prepared really well. It's such a nice facility as far as lighting and all that it's easy to come in here and get focused.
We got big expectations like everybody else down here. It's a tough sport. A lot of people put a lot of money into this, and we work hard over the winter, and we want to win a championship just like a lot of the other guys, and I don't think it's out of reach. We'll see what happens tonight and go from there.
I'm not a driver, yeah. I'm still a mechanic. We're still trying to get the car together so we can run opening night. I'm a procrastinator real bad, and I've had problems getting the car done too early before practice night or opening night this year, but I'm excited. It's been a long winter. I'm ready to get back in the seat and ready to get back out on the track.
Well, usually we have a practice night where you can come down and kind of get things sorted out a little bit, but with the weather this year, we didn't get a chance to do that. So you just hope that you got your motor program so it'll run okay, and then you just try to sort your car out as the night goes on. So that's kind of what we're looking to do tonight, is just go out and see if we can get things to feel pretty good and go from there.
And coming up, it's racing and wrecking as we round out this week's Iowa Racing Report. And it is time once again for some racing information in a segment we call The Report. Well, it seems the Los Angeles Lakers and a former Laker are both in transition this year. Dale Blaney is out as the driver of the 93 Amoco Sprint Car, and Kevin Gobrecht is in. And also tonight, congratulations to Robert Lawton, who is a promoter at Boone, Marshalltown, and Mason City, and he is now also the new co-owner of the I-80 Speedway in Greenwood, Nebraska. Now it's time to get back on track with the highlight of the week. This is the Hawkeye Racing News Highlight of the Week. And tonight, it's a Speedway celebration for IMCA stock car driver Brian Nevins. Racing on his birthday at the State Fair Speedway in Des Moines, Brian presents himself with a first and second place in the 2 stock car features. Congratulations to Brian Nevins, and happy birthday. To subscribe to Hawkeye Racing News, call 1-800-472-4006. And here's a quick check of an upcoming event. On Tuesday, May 11th, the Deary Brothers Summer Series for IMCA late models takes to the track at the Hawkeye Down Speedway in Cedar Rapids. Let's make a break for the rec room, where there were assorted bumps in the racing road. And now is a good time to wave goodbye for this week. For the entire Iowa Racing Report team, have a good night.